Straight into Pro Draft for Week 5, Day 1 of Black Twitch League Season 9. I will be your host, Jaika, and today we have a killer matchup for you all with Mamba Mentality versus Dinosaur Club. Joining me is In Defiance, jungler for Comfy Gaming, and we are way into the bands.
Here to flame Jaga for the power rankings.
Only to flame me for the power rankings, not to cast the game whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm here to like cast a broad net, but mostly to flame. Jaga, what's wrong with you, man? I thought we had something. I thought we were dual cast. I thought you believed.
I do believe in you. I do believe in you. I believe that you guys can be top tier. I gotta see them results.
Hey, dude, all I'm saying is Jace has 2 wins from teams not even being there.
This is true. This is true. Jace has had the most wins by default. So definitely is interesting. I still think that they are a good litmus test for the rest of the league, though. Just in terms of consistency from the play that I've seen. But in terms of bans, we see Mamba Mentality going straight at Dupless, taking away Ari and Fizz, and a protective pick from Bluff in the Shen. We have Morgana and Caitlyn being traded in the first 2 picks, so we will not see that bot lane going together. So that's
I always like doing that because like why would you give someone like that much comfort of having the Caitlyn and Morgana when like Morgana can fit into a lot of comps and Caitlyn can fit into a lot of comps? So like why give the enemy AD carry like the comfort team that they want, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it seems like the Delightful Jew is going to be piloting Graves this game. Talking about the bans coming up from Dinosaur Club in the first round, they're targeting Mystery Bunny very heavily with his Vladimir and Maokai being taken away, and also limiting League is Vile from after his very impactful game on Hecarim, just like I think it was on Monday, yeah. So both teams coming off of a victory 2-1. So we will see who is poised to take that number 3 spot on my power rankings, because Mamba Mentality and Dinosaur Club were ranked just under each other in there.
Yeah, Mamba Mentality is a really, really strong team. Their solo laners are both like really good, and that's why I'm very interested in this game. Like watching Dupless versus Expo should be an absolute treat.
I agree wholeheartedly. Ash going to be the AD carry paired with Morgana, and Bluff is going to be feeling very nice and safe on his Ornn pick. We have seen him play Ornn many a time before, but League is Vile is going to be on Olaf. So another pick that he has definitely an ability to excel on, and as the bans continue, Mystery Bunny is going to be having a... well, we'll see if he has a hard time picking a champ, but they're really going hard on this top lane.
Yeah, and might as well.
Zed
if he's still not comfortable picking it, just keep banning it out.
Yep.
It's interesting that they're willing to ban out the Zed. They've got a Caitlyn, they've got a Graves, and an Ornn. I feel like the Zed ban is very interesting to me because like it can easily be like handled with like a support pick, and like in general, it's hard for I feel like Zed to really get going against that type of team. Like sure, against Caitlyn it can be okay, but it's something you can really like shore up through the pick and ban phase. So it's surprising they're banning it. I'm assuming their mid laner really. I'm assuming Dupless really doesn't like playing against it.
I would assume so as well. We have seen Expo pop off on Zed. However, another thing about Expo is just that he doesn't like picking the same champion too many times. So I think we have yet to see a repeat champ from Expo. Coach Kirk going to be on this Bard pick. We saw him do pretty well on it, had some very clutch ultimates, and Silas is going to be picked up for Mamba Mentality. I assume that is going to be Mystery Bunny's pick. Oh, and Expo gets his LeBlanc for the first time in the season. This is going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah. The thing is like Mamba Mentality is so strong early, like so strong early at 6.
Cassidy being hovered here definitely
Caston is a
would be.
fantastic pick into that team.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. I think while it's definitely something that you have to like have in your pocket for level 16, because I mean he does have a pretty decent spike at level 11, but like 16 is where Cassidy just shoots through the roof in win rate. I need to lower my client volume, but I mean we've also seen Dupless just go absolutely crazy on Cassidy earlier. Granted, it was against a 3 E-sub dirt team, who have been making a really good turnaround thanks to their roster swapping. But I think in terms of comp, as of right now, I'm still a little biased to Mamba Mentality. I think a lot of their drafting is safe. It's very split push oriented in my mind, and just a lot of disengage, a lot of peel for their carry quick slice in the Morgana and the LeBlanc, in my opinion. Definitely solid comps from both teams.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's like you often said, like one team generally puts the onus on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only problem with like the Mamba Mentality comp. Otherwise, I really like it. Like I think their comp is really good. It plays towards their strengths, and I think in general, they'll be looking really, really strong in the early game. But the later and later it goes, the more Dinosaur Club's team is going to like really like hard scale and excel. Because like the thing is like you got an Ornn like masterwork like Black Cleaver on like Graves. You know, if you get like the masterwork Zonias or like hope like maybe the Rabadons on the Cassidon, that can be absolutely insane. You have the same thing for the Molten Edge, and it's just it's like at that point like it's really hard to compete with the gold value that Ornn can bring. So by the time Ornn starts hitting like 14 and 15 and 16, like at that point like the more levels Ornn gets, like the more they're gonna have to shut him down early. Otherwise, it's gonna become really, really hard for them to scale. But like Mamba Mentality comes off as a team that is really good at strangling people when they have leads. But the problem is that like sometimes they get a little overzealous with how far ahead they feel, and they could throw away their hard-end lead. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, Mamba Mentality. Mamba Mentality definitely has a penchant for playing a pretty dirty game, in my opinion, especially in the series we saw just a while ago against CA Toff. They got stunned in the first game by with a lose, just because they weren't able to close it out on actually, in my opinion, a pretty similar comp. Or wait, no, that wasn't the case. They had a jinx. It was the kill. It was the kill quick slice 9,000 miles away comp that stunned Mamba Mentality. But they almost threw a lead on a very similar comp that really needed to get like 25 minutes ish. So I mean, I think this is a similar comp, but I definitely think that if any team has the tools to execute on it, it should be the high skill cap individual play that we have seen from Mamba Mentality so far. Dupless is going to be a very scary timestamp on this game, though. I would watch for him to make some flashy plays early on because that seems to be how he likes to play Cassidy. Granted, this is just from my one game that I have spectated of him on it. And also, Rim Almighty is going to be very, very dangerous. We've seen both Dupless and Rim Almighty sort of take games into their own hands when they need to. So we are shaping up to get into the 3-minute spectator delay. So, in Defiance, what do you think that Dinosaur Club should be kind of looking for in the early to mid game to sort of
honestly just stalling, and then like one thing that would super help Dinosaur Club if they're able to get any of the early drakes, it stalls out the game so much. And I think that like the thing is like Dinosaur Club likes to fight a lot, but if they play this game just smart and collected, like they can definitely do some damage later. I just think that like in the lanes alone that Mamba has a lot of advantages that if they were able to push them, like, you know, if Bard gets hit by like a really good binding and just gets like chunked out, I think Silas is really, really good in Ornn, for example. Um and then like LeBlanc just has more pressure until Cassidy starts getting levels. But the thing is with Dinosaur Club, after like an overextension like in a bot lane skirmish or jungle skirmish, and like if Duplis starts getting any like TP kills at all, though, you're gonna start watching him pop off. So like the thing is like it's like a balancing act for like for Mamba mentality. And like the thing is like sometimes they're inconsistent in stage games. So it's really interesting to see what their form is and how well they're gonna be able to balance this.
Mm-hmm. Definitely one thing that I'm going to be very excited to watch throughout this game is Expo's LeBlanc. Ito has been hyping it up for me in every single Mama game that we've seen. He has not picked it yet so far in Season 9 of BTL, so I am very, very, very excited to see if Expo just absolutely dominates the lane, because he is arguably going up against another top tier mid laner in the league. Duplis is definitely a hyper carry for Dinosaur Club when they need it. So it will definitely be a veritable battle in the mid lane. It kind of feels like a Faker versus Ryu almost in a sense. Ryu being Duplis, as in he's like challenging Expo, who is like, well, at least from what I've seen, the critically acclaimed player of BTL. But with that said, we have about 30 seconds before we load into the game. Everyone, make sure you place your bets on either exclamation point bet Mamba or exclamation point bet Dino to enter into the prize pool of this game for your points. And we shall be loading in five. No, got ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
And now it's the loading screen.
Now it's the loading screen. But gonna check who has all the masteries in this game, in this lobby. I imagine that. Oh, I'm getting a black screen. There we go. I imagine. Yeah, Expo of course has a level 7. Quick Slice also has level 7 on Ash. Lots of level 7s coming out and level 5s coming out from Dinosaur Club. Mystery Bunny with a Mastery Locked Silas. No skins either, so we'll see how this game plays out. No Skinergy to speak of. But I mean,
Yeah, but yeah, that it's always hard to tell because there's some picks that like people have just started playing or played on like other accounts sometimes. So like people can be really proficient on certain champs that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, Dirt Team really stunned us with several champs that it seemed like they weren't really familiar with in the loading screen, but absolutely just dominated that series against Jace, in my opinion. But here we are. I don't actually expect any level 1 shenanigans, but I mean, both of these teams like to prove me wrong whenever I make a claim, so we shall see. I do love Astronaut Bard. That's like honestly my favorite skin out of the astronaut line, save for Astronaut Nautilus. Just fantastic skin.
Oh yeah, I think all of them are pretty good. Like Astronar is pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. We're actually
I've got,
seeing. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was about to say, I think it was Poppy. That was the third one that came out in the row with it. I think.
Yes.
Oh,
Flash Binding. Not gonna connect. That's a early summoner down for Mamba mentality.
I think it's kind of okay. Go for plays like that, especially because like, even though it's a Graves, like the setup isn't always there. But I would still like to see Dinosaur Club try to punish that.
Mm-hmm. But it seems like just a typical 5-point start. So A for effort, he says. Duplis responds yes. I don't imagine it will be too much because it's not like a carry is down a flash or anything. But I mean, that definitely does leave a target up in the bot lane, and we are getting into it with our first Dino Fact of the series. Dino Fact: Velociraptors were actually the size of turkeys and were covered in feathers.
Always gotta love the dinosaur fact.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think Dinosaur Club actually does get a mental boost from those because they did lose a game against TSC because they did not uh, say their Dino Fact. So I'm gonna call it the Dino Fact difference.
It's very interesting. Both junglers should end up just mirroring each other, and they both have vision of their path. So both junglers are going towards the bot side. They'll meet each other. I think we aren't really going to see much action until like about 3:15. Where knowing how these junglers play, I have a feeling that they might greedily like fight over the scuttle crab unless Graves does a double back to the top side.
Seems like a full clear coming out from both sides. Expo going in, gonna get the root off on Dupless. Dupless is now chunked to half health, so definitely a lot of damage.
Really should give this scuttle up though. I mean, they do have like lane priority in the bot lane, so it really just depends on who roams first.
Bluff also getting dangerously low here in this top lane. Has potion. Yep.
Bard with the very aggressive positioning. He's not level 3 yet. At this point, Graves really should just keep clearing, but they're gonna fight over it because the bot lane's got the priority, and Expo cares more about lane than his poor jungler.
Yep. I mean, that definitely. I think Liga's Val should be happy to give it up. He does have a veritable camp lead on. Oh, but Mystery Bunny's going in. Bluff with about 200 HP. Oh, root onto Bard. Yep. Oh, okay, sorry.
First blood coming out in the mid lane. Expo getting his solo kill.
Yeah, Expo flexing his muscles on this LeBlanc pick very early on.
I think if you hit I think if you speed it up a little bit, it'll go to where we're at. Para, if you hear me. Except I see there's a little gap in yours where there's not in mine. I think that's where the difference is. So at this moment, the game's kind of going out as we thought. It's actually pretty crazy, though, that Expo managed to get a kill on Kassadin early. I'm assuming it's just a bit greedy by Dupless, going for as much farm and as experience as he can. But at this point, Graves is feeling really, really good because he was able to catch up and then like get a good farm tempo onto the Olaf as well.
And it's gonna steal away some money from Krugs.
Might even get the Raptors too.
Yeah, Stun is going to connect onto Quick Slice. This bot lane is getting fairly bullied by Rim Almighty and Coach Perk, which is, I mean, it is an aggressive poke lane that they did draft, so understandable. But I mean, a 10 CS lead at 5 minutes is not
reset.
Exactly. Yep.
No, I agree with you. But like, this bot lane dominance is like a really, really great thing though for Dinosaur Club because it's pretty much exactly what they want to happen. But like with Kassadin, they know he's gonna get like behind anyway. So like it's very unfortunate that first kill happened, but at the moment, like I'd say the game plan is going Dinosaur Club's way. But like when you've got Expo on the Blanc, anything can happen.
Oh, Stun gonna connect on a Quick Slice, and damage not gonna come through because Rim Almighty gets binded by Hacksaw, and they will just recall, call it even.
Yeah, they've got the reset. They've got the BF sword, I believe. When we come to lane with BF sword boots, feeling really good. At this point, like to compete with the damage, I don't think. Actually, I think going Bork for Ashe this game is okay. I think Essence Reaver and Muramana are generally like better purchases when it comes to DPS, but I feel like just having the lifesteal and the attack speed, especially against an Ornn, I think would help the effectiveness in this lane. But we'll see what her first buy is, whether it be Cutlass or going for the tier build or the Essence Reaver.
Dupless gonna be taken to half health underneath his turret. Does have level 6, so that ultimate is gonna allow him to maneuver a little easier now. Stun gonna go wide in the top lane. Dupless going in for a return trade. Expo gonna eat a tower shot, and yeah, just
Yeah,
really,
Expo will take those all day.
Alright. I am...
Are we behind now?
I am next. I am next. Flash used by Expo in the...
Expo needs to calm down a little.
Don't know what
I don't think that flash was the best.
I don't know what his rationale with that was either. But I mean, he's getting very gutsy.
I guess it's just like a mental difference, but then now we're going to see a 3-man roam into the mid lane. Oh, he stood still!
Oh, Expo's going to be going down.
Expo's dead. Expo's dead.
That is not what you wanted to happen on your hyper carry in the mid lane there. I mean...
It could be worse though. Kassadin didn't get the kill. Didn't even get an assist.
This is true. So. This is true, but I mean, Bard with a very excellent roam, as he should be. I'm expecting to see several more of those coming out soon.
Yeah, and that's the advantage of taking Bard over like getting the Caitlyn Morgana lane, because like they've already got the dominance, especially because Bard is a pretty good matchup into Morgana, and so then you just go Caitlyn Bard, you beat the hell out of them, you get as many turret plays as you can, and then like the second Caitlyn needs to reset or she can't even see us anyway, and they're pushed in, like you can just roam mid for free, and then like I think a lot of it comes to Expo just not like really respecting the bot lane or like anybody. Honestly, that flash was BM.
Yeah, the flash being down definitely opened up that opportunity, and actually I think Dino Club could look to take an early objective off of that. Liga's Vile is here, gonna spot out Coach Kirk, who is gonna be binded, gonna be taken fairly low, but I mean, nothing to worry about too much.
Yes, I think at this point it's better to just not go for the Drake, especially like they have no idea where Mystery Bunny is, except now that she passed over. So I think this is just going to be Mamba mentality going forward. Especially they know that they have the TP advantage, or they have the man advantage. So now they're just going to get the free Drake. It's very unfortunate, because especially like you'd expect an Ornn to get like a little bit more of like, not lane priority necessary, but like if his laner's missing, I feel like he should have just walked down towards mid. But overall, he gets a nice little somewhat XP lead, catches back up and farm. Gets to chill. Silas finally comes back to lane. A good dragon call and objective call though from Mamba mentality.
Yeah, I mean, you got a 30 CS diff in the bot lane. You kind of need Expo and Dupless gonna trade. Gonna go fairly even, but Liga's Vile is here. Dupless could go down here. Dupless will go down. Liga's Vile is gonna have to burn a flash, and Dupless is gonna get a return kill onto Liga's Vile. Expo gonna
These
be
minion waves.
Oh
my god. The Ornn over the wall.
Yeah, Bluff will just come down, throw a pillar up, and say, hey, thanks, Expo.
Yep, that's actually really, really, really bad for Dinosaur Club. They blew Flash on Olaf, which is really important for him to be getting kill out of that, and gets to like TP the lane. So like right now, he's just like hard pushing the wave. He's only got like 100 gold, but like he only needs 500 more, and he gets to complete his row much earlier than he expected.
And a lot of damage is going to be coming down to Quick Slice, but Mystery Bunny will be here, going to use the Bard ult against them, but will whiff. Bluff is also here. Call of the Forge God went wide, but Mystery Bunny is going to get stunned up now, going to be taken very low, but no damage is going to be enough to get any trade kills. Flash burnt by Rim Almighty. Coach Kirk is... Yeah.
But a nice stacks minion wave, but Kassadin left, so now they actually have to recall, because without having Vision on Expo, like, they cannot even stay for this plate. Like, it's literally doomed if, like, Expo comes around. He may have fumbled the early game a bit, but, like, his little Blanc mechanics are still on point, and, like, he's definitely someone you don't want around a half-health AD carry.
For sure, for sure. I mean, Rim Almighty still had Cleanse up, so, I mean, I guess that is a bonus over Quick Slice, who had to burn both his Flash and his Summoner heal. But other than that, just a very even fight in the bot lane. Rift Herald going to be going over to Mamba Mentality as well. Mamba Mentality doing very well in stacking these objectives.
But remember, they're kind of on like a mini timer here. And the fact that there's such a gold lead on Dinosaur Club really doesn't mean well. So I like the fact that Olaf's trying to get his LeBlanc open, trying to get this turret going. But it might have been at a bad timing because like there's 3 people responding from Dinosaur Club. Really good roam by them.
For sure. And Bloff and Mystery Bunny just gonna trade a little back and forth. I mean, I don't think Mystery Bunny at this point is gonna be able to do too much to Bard, save for an extended fight. Whereas Dupless getting a nice chunk of damage onto Expo. But yeah, I mean, Bloff has his Abyssal Mask completed, so he is gonna be a very tanky boy.
Plus, Casting gets to reset soon to finish his row, I believe. I think he actually has the money right now, if I'm correctly, at 750. But at this point, he just wants to cancel the recall, get the wave pushing, because he wants to reset anyway, right? So he lets the cannon wave hit each other. He puts a ward out. I'm actually surprised he stayed in lane, but that's probably because Expo did as well.
Mystery Bunny and Liga's Vile look for something in this mid lane. Quick Slice going to be caught out again, though, and the Delightful Jew is here to take out Quick Slice. Gonna go down. Here comes Hacksaw, has to burn Flash, and now Liga's Vile is rotating over. The mid lane play is dead. The Delightful Jew getting very overzealous here, but gonna use his ultimate to just clean up the floor, and that is gonna be first turret going over to Dinosaur Club. A very nice play.
Honestly, yeah, I think everything is just showing up at Dinosaur Club. They're playing like a really solid game. They know what game plan they have, and they're executing. I think a big problem I'm seeing from Mamba Mentality is like, it's kind of just like, I feel like it's disrespect. Like, the Dinosaur Club's bot lane is so much stronger in like these early skirmishes and just in general, right? And so if you don't have the power of Expo behind you, there's like no reason to really ask for these fights. Like, Caitlyn's already got a CS lead. You know, at this point, she's just going to be stronger than you, poking you out. Bard as well makes things just difficult, especially with his roaming potential. And then like Expo kind of like, even though he still has a decent lead in mid, he kind of threw away his pressure by like going for the free flash, dying two times. I think that if they coordinated better with Expo and their jungler, they should have snowballed a bit more of a lead. And like right now, this is looking really, really good for Dinosaur Club.
4K gold lead on Dinosaur Club. First tower down as well, freeing up the members of Dinosaur Club to sort of look elsewhere on the map. I mean, Dupless is at his first item. I think a key part of why this early game lead is going as hard as it is because of the active ganking from the Delightful Jew. I mean, you see him 3-0. Dragon is going to be taken. 2 Call of the Forge Gods are going to go onto the Rift. Waff will get a nice
this is a really bad fight
into the back line.
Oh, fantastic Bartle. If it landed on more people, this would have been like a clean sweep.
Yep, Dupless slays Hacksaw, getting a kill early on. Mystery Bunny getting a double kill for Kassadin. Expo gonna go into the back line, just gonna take out the Delightful Juice, so that's some nice money in his pocket. But now, Dinosaur Club are looking to take this mid lane tier 1. They do have a nice stacked up minion wave to do it. Expo will not be able to touch anything, specifically because of Brock in the area, and that fight went heavily in the way of Dinosaur Club.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, honestly, I don't know why they still fought over an objective that wasn't there anymore. They kind of literally just ran at Dinosaur Club, wanting to fight them, because they knew they had to kind of win early, but instead, all they did was kind of throw their lead even more, or throw, like, the game a little bit even more, because now Kassadin has so much gold. In fact, I think Kassadin is only 200 gold behind LeBlanc, and that's even with her going in and doing a really good outplay to get 600 gold. So he would have even been up 400 gold if it wasn't for Expo really turning that around. But right now, I just think like the biggest difference is that like while Mamba Mentality has really good players, like the macro and like the jungle pathing by like the jungler of Dinosaur Club has been like really powerful. Like the jungle support duo, like you just constantly seeing them roam together and then like take the fights. And even though Olaf is having an okay game, like it's obviously like the Delightful Jew has definitely been dictating this game. He's got full kill participation. He's just looking really good and feeling probably just as good as well.
And I think that fight was really pivotal in getting Dupless a competitive edge in this game, specifically in the mid game, because now he has a positive KD and a 300 gold bounty on his head. That is feeling very nice. He's going to be able to start stacking up his tier already. So yeah, really, really solid play coming out from Dinosaur Club. They do have a continuous 400 gold, 4,000 gold lead up in 17 minutes, and the Delightful Jew is going to spot out Hacksaw and Liga's Vile.
And see, this is why like it's so good for Dinosaur Club, is because like right now, it's like the onus is completely on Mamba Mentality to find and make a play. Like it's going to be so hard to catch out Cassidy at this point. He's already level 11. You know, his Rift Walk is really down low. I like this 3-man roam, but the problem is you know, Graves is really hard to kill. And like Bard is really slippery as well, and like it's almost like Bard is being like a battle ward for his AD carry. Like Rim is just feeling nice because like Bard is gonna get caught out before he does most of the time. So I think like that possibility allows him to position like really aggressively and exactly where he wants to go. See, like battle warding it up again, gets ulted by the Ashe, hits the ult, and then just flashes away, literally just wasting their time.
Very nice play by Coach Kirk. Baited out, I think baited out both the Crystalline Arrow, which is a major engage tool for Mamba Mentality, down, and Bluff is hammering away at this bot lane tier 2. So, I mean, really solid comp utilization coming out here as Mamba Mentality take another Rift Herald. But, I mean, that's really no sweat off of Dinosaur Club's brow.
Yeah, like Dinosaur Club just really likes how this game is going, because like right there, of course it's not optimal to burn like the Bard Flash, of course, or like have to use the ult. But like when the Ashe Arrow's down and you're able to just sit there reset, and then you get so much free XP on the Ornn, like the Ornn is getting closer and closer to getting to the item spikes that he needs, or to the levels he needs to give like his AD carries like a true item spike. Because right now he's only 3 levels away. In fact, I think he's actually close to level 12. He's more than half. But like he's 3 levels away, and then he can start getting the black cleaver upgraded, the IE upgraded. Like that's the problem like that Mamba Mentality has, is that like right now, like Dinosaur Club scale into oblivion, and like it's gonna be really hard to manage these fights as like a LeBlanc who doesn't even have death cap, when like other people can have Ornn upgrades, which put them like effectively 1,000 gold ahead of other people. And then you have a Cassidy who's nicely stacking his tier, feeling really good, and you're not gonna be able to stop him from hitting level 16.
The vision game for Dragon number 3 is beginning.
I was actually surprised. I was really surprised to see Dupless TP here. I don't think it was necessary. I know the pressure of TP on Cassidy is so great that like he really should have just walked bot and then came to the fight a bit late anyway, because like he teleported here, right? And there's still not a fight happening. The drag still isn't started. They were able to come back here in time. They're lining it all up, and like sure, this is probably going to go Dinosaur Club's way, but he could have done the same thing just walking to mid, for example, pushing out the mid wave and then coming in on a flank. I think that would have been much better than what he's doing now. I think him grouping up is like ill-informed, but this fight's still going Dinosaur Club's way.
Call of the Forge God going out, gonna get a 3. Dupless is on a rampage, unstoppable coming out from Liga's Vile, but he is almost dead. Summoner Heal gonna be used to keep him alive. Dupless has a double kill onto Liga's Vile. Quick Slice is gonna go down. Nope, never mind, it's Hacksaw, and Expo is not able to get any kills in that scenario. Dragon and the fight going over to Dinosaur Club. Really solid.
Dinosaur Club looking really, really good. Like honestly, as much as I value Ape Chimps and I know Dinosaur Club doesn't always pull the trigger, it's like when they're on their like best, Like their drafts, the way they play the map, the macro, the vision control, they honestly are looking like one of the most complete teams, I would say, in the BTL.
Dupless seems to be going for cheeky assassination on Rim Almighty, but he will just cancel his recall. The delightful Jew might get caught out here. Gonna use his E to hop away, but seems a little too late.
Not much you can do there.
Expo will get a return kill, but this is scary territory for Mamba Mentality. 5-2 Kassadin, not even by 30 minutes, already has his Archangel staff. I mean, yeah, big Kassadin in the mid lane. Dupless showing why he is an AP carry assassin player predominantly.
The thing is like, yes, like I think you were talking about Dupless, so my bad on this point. But in my head, it's like, yes, like Expo is like doing really good in Assassin, right? But like, how is he going to be able to navigate in like, because like at this point, like he's got to kill Graves. He's like him and Silas are the best ones to kill Graves, but then they've also got to kill Caitlyn. And then meanwhile, like I just don't know if they even have an answer for Cass. And I think their only answer is to hope Dupless feels himself too much and runs straight into a Morgue Binding.
Oh, and Expo gonna have to flash the Bard ult and the Call of the Forge God being used to see if they can catch out Expo. I mean, oh, the delightful Jew almost gets caught out. Crystalline Arrow is gonna go wide. Very dangerous mind games being played here by both sides using ultimates freely. And this game is really starting to get to the seesaw that will determine which way game one swings in this series.
See, I honestly, I think at this point, unless like it's a huge execution error by Dinosaur, to be honest. I think comp-wise, draft-wise, where they're scaling, the item power spikes, the Ornn upgrades coming in 2 levels, like Mamba Mentality's comp just doesn't deal with any of that well.
This is fair. I mean, I still think that Mamba Mentality have a little bit of wiggle room before the final nail is in the coffin. But in general, it's not looking too great. They're down about 5k gold at 23 minutes. Boaf is just getting free time in the bot lane to continue to scale up, despite being 40 CS down against Mystery Bunny. Mystery Bunny hasn't actually been able to use his stealing of ultimates very concisely at all in any fights. I mean, Call of the Forge God is a nice engage tool, but I mean, when the rest of your team just hasn't been able to follow up, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think at some point, as good as Call of the Forge God like can be, especially in like a team fight setting, you know, there's just an Ornn. He's going to do it better. So at that point, you should look for like interesting angles with maybe a Graves and Caitlyn ult. But even then, those aren't necessarily like the best, especially with the Bruiser type build. So I think like the utility of like the Bard ult is actually being underutilized here, because like having the Bard ult means you could also like save your teammates when like the fight's not going your way, or can stall out the fight and help like set up other CC. Like for example, a Bard ult into like a Morgue maybe 5-man stun with like the stopwatch could be really big at this dragon fight. I don't think that'll be utilized. In fact, I think that right now, Mamba Mentality is actually making a really big mistake. In not, I mean, Silas is really far caught out. Expo can't even show up.
What is Mark doing this far up in the bot lane? Rim Almighty gonna be picking up his second kill of the game as Crystalline Arrow once again goes super wide. That's a really important engage tool for Mamba Mentality, and the way they've been using it just hasn't been stellar. Hacksaw gonna be taken very low. Dupless is dominating. Quickslice gonna be caught on the very edge of the Bard and will be going down. Dupless with a double kill. 7-2 on this Kassadin. More like Castle win, am I right, fellas?
Dude, all I'm saying is like, I don't know, Dinosaur Club is playing this game really, really well. Like, I'm actually really excited. It's really nice seeing teams like play this well and then like play the macro correctly without throwing stuff. Because like if you look at like the blue side, like red side blue jungle, right? Like the farthest vision they have can't even see their own red buff. Like that's the main reason that Silas got cut out so hard. But he really should have been playing far back. But man, like Dinosaur Club is really playing this by the book, playing a great comp, knows how to execute it, has great vision control, and their macro has been on point. I think at this point the only way Dinosaur Club goes out of this game is if an asteroid hits Earth.
Expo was able to crack the second inner tower on Dinosaur Club's side, so that is a technical advantage for them. They do have more towers, but I mean,
but you know, another Infernal went. So like, you're seeing this damage right out of this Graves, this Caitlyn, this Cassidon. Now put 3 Infernals on top of that with Soul, and like, I don't know, it's really hard to like do anything.
I definitely think that was a misplay. Expo gonna try and go in on the Delightful Juke. Will get the kill. Is gonna fish for another one onto Dupless or not. But I mean, I do think that was a misplay by Expo staying so long in the top lane when he could have been helping his team. Who knows? Maybe he would have been able to turn the fight. I mean, Boff is already at level 13. His Abyssal Mask is upgraded. He is a chunky boy. Big, beautiful boy. Love seeing that. But yeah, Duke, I mean, I just think that Mamba mentality has been missing some key plays, but Coach Kirk not going to go down quite yet. Gonna get his ultimate stolen, though.
Yeah, he was pathing towards the LeBlanc. He realized, though. He backed off. Ornn is just now hitting the 14, so he's got both of his upgrades. He can also upgrade his teammate stuff. But I mean, at this point, why not keep just pushing in the bot wave, maybe get the free inner, and then not only that, but the closer he gets to level 15, like, just throw your upgrades on your carries and then just laugh. Like, you're playing Ornn, you're chilling, life is good.
Oh, Bard gonna catch off Bluff. Gonna be engaged on by Mystery Bunny. He doesn't really do enough, but Liga's Lao is also here to help him out.
Okay, the true damage from Olaf could eventually be enough, but it's gonna be really hard to still take down this Ornn.
Call of the Forge God gonna be used. Shutdown going on to Expo from Rim Almighty.
In the middle of Dinosaur Club. Dude, honestly, Mamba mentality is actually doing really well to mentally come back into this game. Like, the thing is that Dinosaur Club should win this game. Like, if Mamba mentality win this game, it's literally just because of, like, Expo really finding the key targets. And then not only that, but, like, constantly not taking 5v5s. Like, they will lose every team fight unless Expo pops off. So, like, I think what's happening now is actually really, really good. And it's starting to put them in this game. If they can stall the Infernal Drake or get, like, a good pick right before it and then able to, like, prevent the Soul from happening, you know, they still got a chance back into this game. But I'm still saying it's, like, 5 to 10%.
I mean, definitely when you're this far behind, you want to go picks. You want to start establishing a little bit of gold back in your pocket. Binding going to go wide on the Delightful Jew. Flash going to be used. That's a very key summoner spell on a very key member of Dinosaur Club. Although I guess his importance diminished as the game is on. But,
well, it's always important. But like the thing is that Dinosaur Club is playing a little bit too fast and loose. Like, they just really, like, right now, like, that's what Dupless is doing. Like, constantly going in and out. Burns another flash from their top laner.
Ooh, and then big, well, could have been a big Bard ultimate coming out, but nothing quite yet. Wow,
you got the Olaf, he's down.
Legendary. That is a huge pick for Dinosaur Club. Gonna enable them to pick up the mid lane tier 2. Expo does have a pretty nice flank, though. Gonna come in through the backside. Gonna use Flash. Rim Almighty gonna be taken very low. Gonna go down to Mystery Bunny. And Expo will get away, but I mean, Dinosaur Club are going for inhibs right now. They're playing for keeps. Hacksaw gonna be blown up by Dupless. Coach Kirk will secure the kill. Quick Slice gonna use his summoner heal, but I mean, Dupless says not today. He is still legendary. Chat thought it was so nice that the announcer lady said it twice, and that is going to be Dragon and Soul going over to Dinosaur Club unless Lee's Vile gets a very nice smite off.
See, I'm really happy about their Caitlyn because, like, their Caitlyn was like, look, I don't need to be the big carry. I've got so many big carries, and I've got freaking Dupless. Like, that's what I mean. Like, Rim's job is always so much easier because his team enables him by, like, enabling themselves. Because, like, normally, like, Caitlyn's would be like, no, I need as much damage. I need my rapid fire cannon. You know, I don't have a choice. Like, I gotta get it. But instead, he's able to get the Hex Drinker. It's really gonna make Expo's job harder.
Yep. I mean, theoretically, that should be the same thing that. Oh! Blue team steals the Infernal Drake!
From Olaf.
Mystery Bunny gonna use Zanya's Call of the Forge God, gonna go wide. Mystery Bunny gonna go down, but that was a huge delay for Mamba Mentality. League is vile. Finally, they get the CC chain that they were looking for with Mystery Bunny using Bard's ultimate, the Crystalline Arrow connected. That was the play that Mamba Mentality were looking for, but now
that's how difficult it is. They did such a good play. They did everything they needed to. Maybe if Mystery Bunny got out, but like you lose Dragon to then lose Baron. Like it's very unfortunate, and that's just what happens. Like with this type of team comp and like the lead that they have, and they're able to all just leave through the Bard E as well. And like I just love this comp and generally the gameplay from Dinosaur Club. I think they could have played it a bit more cleaner.
I agree.
I think that honestly, I don't think that Mamba Mentality should even have any dragons. Well, no, they did good for the first dragon if I remember correctly. But like that last dragon, it was really well played by Mamba. Like don't get me wrong, like Mamba played it really well. But I think like optimally, like Dinosaur Club for sure should have just had the dragon. I think they're just really far ahead, and like it definitely needs to be abused a bit more. Let's see the XP. So Orin is halfway to giving the Molten Edge to Caitlyn. At this point though, like they don't really need to like slow. Like I really hope like Dinosaur Club like really pressures this Baron. Like they need to get like another inhib into like Drake and end or just straight up end. Like I think kind of like waiting around too long and like letting them like clear the mid wave while you're trying to get like the perfect positioning. I think literally just going to bot as hard as possible is like the go-to, especially because Dupless doesn't have TP.
Very fair. Woff is gonna engage with Mystery Bunny and just sort of like you were saying earlier, Rim Almighty doesn't really need to do too much theoretically because he does have Dupless, so he can itemize defensively and make Expo's job harder. But I mean, to the same extent, that should be the same case with Mamba Mentality. They do have
not when you get slammed by
power. That's true. You can't do that when you get slammed. But I mean,
yeah, just like
on paper,
there's so many power spikes they need that it really hurts their itemization. So on paper, I agree with you, but like honestly, Rim, like, see, that's the thing is like Rim and Coach Kirk, like they don't look like they did that much. It looks like it was all Dupless, but like this was created from the bot lane lead.
Like, this is true, and Liga's Vow is gonna get caught out. Ragnarok through. Although the Forge God gonna get a beaut of a knockup, but Mystery Bunny will go down unless the Crystalline Arrow connects. But it goes wide. Mystery Bunny uses Zanya's, but Rim Almighty will pick up the kill as Dupless stops the floor with Expo in the 1v1. Quick Slice gonna get killed. Hacksaw using his own Zonias. Dupless is legendary again. Gonna get another double kill, and that should be game one going the way of Dinosaur Club. They deserve it. They earned it. 34 minutes and well played to Dinosaur Club. Wonderful game.
Okay, so I honestly think game 2 is going to look a lot better because, like, I don't think Dupless gets casted in again. I think that they choose better lanes from Mamba Mentality, and as long as Expo doesn't go like Renekton, I think things should still be really interesting.
The player who did the most damage that game was indeed Dupless, right? With 25k. So, yikes! Big scary cosmic man. But yeah,
I do want to keep pointing out Coach Kirk and Rim. I don't know. Like, to be fair, I just want to compliment like their whole team. Like, because like Delightful, his pathing was delightful. Like, it was so good. He was always where he needed to be with the team. It's just there was like 2 times in like the mid to like somewhat towards the late game where he just got caught out where he kind of shouldn't have. But like other than that, like he played such a good game. Like Delightful played such a great game. I think Rim Almighty and Coach Kirk were actually like what got them ahead though. Because like they won through like the bot lane dominance, and it doesn't look solo queue perspective, but like the turret plates, like what was happening to like Ashe and like Morgana, like in general, all of that, like even Dupless's lead all stemmed from like the 3 versus 3s that were happening bot lane, and like Dupless being able to capitalize on that. So even though Dupless had like a fantastic performance, I really liked this game coming from Dinosaur Club because like it didn't require Dupless to get a lead. In fact, Dupless wasn't even really doing well in lane. Took like a few extra deaths where he shouldn't have. But like overall, like he was in a good matchup, and to me, it was just so impressive how
Yeah.
like it was really nice to see that Dupless wasn't like, all right, I'm gonna get an advantage. Y'all be at least decent, and we win. Instead, you watch Delightful, you watch Kirk, and then you watch like Rim, and all three of them were basically the win con for the game, and they played their roles almost perfectly. There's a few catches that shouldn't have happened, but like overall, like to getting the victory, a lot of that just came from like a team diff. Like it was so well played by Dinosaur Club.
This is true. Really well played. We're looking to see Mamba mentality come back in game 2 with a vengeance, but we will cue some wubs as we set up the pro draft and the lobby for game 2. Stay with us. Greetings once again, ladies and gents. We are sweeping back into the pro draft for Dinosaur Club versus Mamba Mentality Game 2. And the first ban is going to be Vladimir. Wait, can people hear me? Yes, people should be able to hear me. I mean, I stand by my power rankings. Don't diss them. But I mean,
Hey,
Mom,
you put us 8th. I'm gonna diss them all day long. Dude,
you,
Jace gets 2 free wins and they get 5th? Dude, they lost a dirt team. Come on.
this is fair. This is fair. But I mean, come on, you gotta admit, Dirt Team absolutely. I I think Dirt Team could arguably take Jace's spot in the next power rank. I don't
I
know,
don't
man.
disagree. I actually like Dirt Team a lot, but I mean, like, we did 2-1 them in our own games. We were really sloppy game 2. And they did have like a bit of a roster swap in game 3. So they could have beat us, but I think us and Dirt Gaming are like kind of close. Like at times at the moment. But like I think Dirt I honestly I just think that like anybody who sleeps on Dirt and Comfy are just gonna end up beating Dirt personally. But other than that, like I don't know. I think the season.
No, yeah, I am very excited with like all the leaps and bounds that every team has made. I mean, I think every improved like exponentially since week 1, and we're only in week 5, which is still technically around the halfway point of the season. So like once we get to the postseason, we're gonna have just bangers of games after bangers of games. Mamba mentality going with the Senna Nautilus pick. That is kind of dirty, but Caitlin Morgana coming through for Dinosaur Club. Gonna be banning away Vladimir and Mordekaiser for Heck and Hecarim. But Mamba Mentality electing to take away the Maokai and the Shen, along with the Fizz. They don't want to see Dukeless on Fizz, but I mean, really, really solid. They're also gonna put Dinosaur Club is also gonna put Bois on Orn once again, essentially saying, you know, if the comp ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm like I do think Cinna Nautilus, right? God, I just don't think I like the Nautilus pick. I think the Nautilus pick is actually like they went Caitlyn like first, right? Like blue one. So like going Nautilus is just asking to get Morged on. So like they should have known the Morg was coming. I think the Kane pickup is really good. I think Nautilus is really, really bad here. I think the Senna is interesting, right? Like if you think your bot lane might become a liability, or like has been a liability in the previous game, especially since they get Caitlyn, go ahead and get Senna. She's a more supportive AD carry. She can play a different style while behind. I think the Nautilus pick is actually really, really bad.
Fair assessment. We'll see once they get into the game. I mean, Nautilus definitely is a much nicer engage tool than we saw last game. Ari going to be coming out and Graves going to be coming out as the final bans for Mamba Mentality, whereas Dinosaur Club elect to take away the LeBlanc and the Zed from Expo.
It makes sense.
Not wanting, yeah, I mean, just not wanting any assassins getting in the back line to Rim Almighty.
I think the only thing is like it's so like you just don't want to play against people on specific champions, but like the way I see it is like Expo and Dupless both have champion oceans. So it's like you just in my opinion, there's no point in trying to completely ban them out. I think you just ban out what you don't want to play against.
I mean, definitely fair. Expo and Dupless have shown that like essentially any champ that you put them on, they have like essentially a coin flip of what you're gonna carry. Actually, Mamba, I think they're electing.
Mamba might be going a really interesting draft here. I think like I don't quote me on this, but I randomly think no, I don't really know because
All I'm
like if
saying
they're
is
really putting Expo and Karma mid, I don't think that's the play.
I that would be Expo. That would be Expo's mid in this game or this season. I don't think it's a Karma mid because typically they've had more success when Mystery Bunny is playing Karma. And actually,
I think not only that, but they also often give like Expo like last pick. So yeah, I think it's just probably Kane Jungle, Karma top, and then it's interesting what they're gonna put here. Echo's really good. I think the problem with that is that like makes Expo kind of not sure what champion he wants to go into Echo because Echo is like a really annoying champion in general. And like you got to think about there's a Morgana, there's an Ornn, there's an Echo. Like his pick is actually really really important here.
Lee Sin gonna be a nice early
Talon.
game. Ooh, Talon.
I actually like it. I actually like it.
Card continues, and yeah, I think Mamba Mentality has been doing really good in terms of innovating They're gonna mute a server really quick, just so that I don't get ding dongs in my head. But I mean, yeah, Mamba Mentality has been good in like innovating their drafts to a high degree. While some of the drafts do seem a little troll, I do think that recently, specifically the Senna Nautilus pick and the support top lane jive that they've got going on is a great deal for them, and I'm excited to see how it plays out in this game. We'll see if Dinosaur Club will be able to handle the heat that Mamba Mentality plan to cook up with it. Echo is another really solid pick for Dinosaur Club. Definitely a lot safer than Kassadin. And I think if the Delightful Jew is able to just keeping up with his aggression in the early game, getting his team leads, especially in the bot lane, this is going to be a very textbook match. Definitely a textbook team comp coming out of Dinosaur Club.
Yeah, it's Mamba Mentality's got a really weird team comp because like the thing is like most of the time I can look at team comps and like know immediately like which one's better, and like I think at this point I just look at the team comps and I think Dinosaur Club is more structured, it's more consistent. But like the Mamba Mentality one, the thing is like if they get like a lead though, it can definitely actually like it can definitely keep them in the game, like way much better than their previous comp. Like they actually have like options, like a Red Cane here will just keep like just go like burring through freaking Ornn and Lee Sin. He's just gonna be living his best life doing whatever he wants. I think Senna. I don't like the Nautilus pick. I think since they just need a frontliner, it's okay. It's not bad. I think like in the terms of their comp, it's a little better. But at that point, I would almost rather see. No, I don't know if Braum. No, Braum actually would have been a really good pick here.
I mean,
not for the lane, of course, but just for the Ornn. Just the random CC stuff. It could have really helped them. But like, I think Mamba Mentality's comp is like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird comp. It's hard to say. I think literally this game. I think their comp live and dies by like the mid jungle diff this game. And I say that, but I think like the highest probability of what's going to happen is that like Caitlyn Morgana might just bot diff so hard that like it doesn't even matter what the mid and jungle do.
I wouldn't count out Quick Slice and Hacksaw just yet, like for that. But I mean, it definitely seems like an uphill battle for Mamba Mentality. Once again, with the onus on them, especially in do or die game 2. But I mean, Ethan is claiming that Dino wins this, no cap.
Dude, I swear Ethan is just looking at that Caitlyn Morgana and the Sin Nautilus, and he's like got bot gap, hardcore bot gap. Like it's such a bot gap that like like even as talent, it's hard to do things. I think I don't know. I think Caitlyn Morgana just hard stomps Sin Nautilus.
Chat, y'all are forgetting the plays that we saw on Senate Nautilus literally just in the last series that Mamba was in. They absolutely destroyed CA Top with this comp. Literally, Mark was playing Karma once again. So, I mean, I think it's a bit of a familiar taste for Mamba. We'll see if this nostalgia is gonna give them the fire under their bellies to like just take this game into their hands and bring us to game 3. Both of these teams actually coming off of an in-game game 3, but I mean, for sure, Bot Gap is looking very, very scary. We'll see how Expo does. We have not seen him play Talon yet, so if anybody is keeping track of their Expo bingo cards, just keep dotting that away. But we are getting into. Ito says, "Holy, holy, 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 fuck, 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 fuck." Oh, he almost spilled juice onto his laptop. That's classy. Thank you for letting us know, Ito. I think I do agree with you in Defiance that I do think that Dinosaur Club's comp is definitely a lot more consistent. They've ran it so many more times than essentially everywhere else. So it's going to be scary. We're going to see how Mamba is going to take down the ancient threat of the dinosaurs.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just imagining Dupless on like, because like the thing is like, as much as like Talon could be really good, and the Sin and Nautilus has like its own combos and stuff. Like, I'm just imagining Echo just going around just one shotting everyone, and that's after like bot gaps. Like, I just feel like Caitlyn Morgana's gonna run through this lane. Like, I honestly think by like 8 minutes, we're gonna see like at least a 15 CS lead for Kate Morgana, if not more, with like 2 plates.
I mean, we definitely did see Rim Almighty, the ever loving, like just shit out of Quick Slice and Hacksaw last game.
And that was with Ash. I don't think Ash Morgana's even that good of a lane. I think the Bard Caitlyn was like a really good answer into it. It's just like I I just see Sin and Nautilus just getting hit over and over again, like literally just smacked in the mouth. Like it's gonna be really bad, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time. We'll see if any level 1 shenanigans come out though, so that make it seem a little maybe
I'm really excited
even.
to see Expo on Talon though, especially
Yeah.
because the thing is like I feel like both mid laners are like hella disrespectful. Like I think like the way they play is naturally disrespectful. Like they come into every game being like, all right, we're gonna win because I'm gonna disrespect them. Like, and so usually that means to me is that like Dupless has to be careful because like especially with Talon having Ignite, Talon can just like if Dupless allows Talon to touch him at level 2, it's actually scary.
Mm,
The level 2 cheese like is really strong.
I wouldn't call them disrespectful. I'd just say that,
I
maybe
no
they're
no
just a
dude.
little aggressive. Maybe they just need anger management issue. Maybe they just.
I would agree with that. Maybe even every other week, right? But then I literally watched Expose LeBlanc flash into Cassidon earlier, and I'm like, no, they're disrespectful. It's different. They are
Maybe
disrespectful.
maybe he just like misclicked, fat fingered it, I mean, Expo's a mechanical god,
I
but
don't
I
know.
mean,
I
sometimes he
think
just
I
misclick.
think Expo was doing it. Okay, he's going in. I assume Expo's just going in anytime he does stuff like that. Could have been an accident. I think it's aggression because like Expo is all about aggression. Expo is hella aggressive.
I mean, not to
I
get
honestly
into
think I
flash
think Dupless
politics.
is almost less aggressive than Expo, to be honest, and that's
Oh,
saying something because Dupless is really aggressive.
Mamba mentality going for a level 1 3-man invade, trying to find the delightful Jew. They will not find anything, but it looks like they're going to try and steal away the blue buff. If not, at least just ward it up. Yep, they're just going to ward it. That's fine. But I mean, okay, to talk about flash politics, I for one think it was a mistake on Expo's part because if you look at the distance of the flash, it wasn't a really. I don't think it was the distance cap. I think he went like half a flash deep.
Like
So
maybe for like the ignite like proc, but then fat fingered both. I'm not really sure what happened. I just remember him flashing in. It was just like very questionable. So I could see that being a mistake, especially if he's trying to ignite at the same time or
if
like trying
somebody
to.
has the clip, I will personally review it, and in general chat, I will at everyone. I won't do that. I won't at, but I will explain Flash.
Like again, I didn't catch I guess a great glimpse of it, so I could be wrong, but it just seemed to be himself.
What do you think of these jungle starts coming out from both the junglers of Dinosaur Club and Mamba Mentality here?
I love the pathing by Vile. Because what Vile did was know that they had a ward on blue, right? So they went for like no leash, and then he goes for like the wolves, the raptors into like red and krugs, and like at the moment they have no vision of him. They just know he's not bot side. So like of course they can assume that he's still top side, but he's taking like such a weird path right now. Actually going straight into krugs, like being able to keep his buff timing up like earlier it's such an interesting path. I love seeing interesting paths. Like Lee Sin right now, he doesn't really care. He just knows they're not bot side. He's gonna path bot side because his bot like side is winning. No reason to not be around it. I'm just really interested in what like League of Vile's plan is. I guess he's resetting already. I have no idea what he's doing, to be honest. It's interesting. Cane pathing is always a bit weird. I guess this way he's able to go straight to blue, match it, and not be spotted on a ward. Because like right now, by doing what he just did, like as a jungler, I have no idea where the hell Cane is. Like I have no clue.
The blue side ward did for Mamba, I mean not Mamba, Dino Club did time up right about the time he did finish Krug, so definitely was a nice play by Liga's Vile to prevent information being given away. Mystery Bunny actually taking grasp here, so the high base damage is definitely going to be something that Bluff is going to have to tread carefully against in this early game. Mark with a penchant for doing lots of damage on Karma for some reason. I mean,
yeah,
did, like,
it tells me that he's probably going tank Karma, which I like better for this game. I think tank Bruiser Karma with like Iceborne Gauntlet and stuff will just do a lot more than just support Karma.
And it seems like that's the comp that Mark tends to prefer. Dupless gonna get a little bit of a CS discrepancy in this mid lane. Finding gonna go wide on Quick Slice, but should be Rim Almighty and Coach
The first plate going over.
First plating. Yeah, really textbook and even play coming out of both teams here so far. Nobody able to eke out a bit of a lead yet.
See, now I know what Vile's plan was. Like, Vile's plan was if he, like, the way he was clearing, right? He starts Wolves, Raptors, Krugs. Then he recalls. He grabs Blue and then Gromp. And then he's able to get Wolves and Raptors again on respawn. Get Scuttle. Like, this is... And, like, end up getting this Scuttle. Then can still get Red and Krugs. And, like, honestly, it gives him a lot of XP early. I do love this there. It's definitely, like, efficient pathing is to do because of, like, their champions limits.
This is the Galaxy Brain Kane efficiency route here, ladies and gents.
Yeah, he knows he doesn't want to interact. So, like, at that point, why not just go ahead and let your camps respawn, like, and get a higher level? I think, like, each of his camps respawning are all, like, level 2 or 3 now. Level 4, actually, on the Krugs. Like, that's actually really crazy. His jungle path in this game, for planning on being non-interactive, is actually really, really good.
Yeah, and actually, Lee Sin not making any use of his early game damage, really. I mean, I would have expected to see a Lee Sin gank by now, but I mean, top lane isn't exactly winning, so, I mean, he's constantly hard shoved in. Not too much he can do there. Mid lane is a little too volatile, so I understand why he doesn't really want to go there, and I mean, his bot lane is just constantly shoved up, so nothing he can really do unless he wants to go under tower early on. Who would
It's
like
really
to
unfortunate
do that?
that Vile, like, I understand what Vile was doing, right? Vile was doing a battle ward thing in the top side. And, like, even it's good for the information, I think at this point, since he had a CS tempo and XP tempo lead, there's no reason to not just go ahead and reset, like, right after Krugs, or at least to, like, hover around topside, reset into Krugs, and then just keep going into your reset camps. Because, like, at this point, like, see how his camps are respawning? Like, he could have already had taken Gromp and then taken Wolves and then Raptors on respawn. So, like, right now, he's about, like, 15 to 20 seconds behind what he could have been. But, like, I still see the value in what he did. But we're seeing Lee Sin.
But ultimate going out from Expo. Dupless also going to have to use this ultimate. Getting chunked to half health and not going to be able to get anything else off of that trade. I would say Expo came out on top of that one.
I definitely agree. He didn't even have to use, like, he's still got the Ignite coming back up. That was right after Dupless used a TP, so now his ult's down. It's really good. It was really also great by Lee Sin to start the Drake, and this is why I would have preferred, like, Vile, after taking that full clear in the CS lead, to be, like, bot side, because then, like, just checking the Drake every once in a while, if it's a really, like, when it's a 0-0 game, like, 7 minutes in, like, at that point, junglers are basically, like, itching themselves, being like, dude, can I sneak Drake here? Because, like, it's so good to just sneak Drake when it's, like, a really slow-paced game, because it puts you further ahead than you almost deserve to be.
And I guess further ahead than you deserve to be at 300 gold, so, I mean, it definitely does feel nice to have the dragon stacking already. We do know that it will not be Infernal Soul, so no insane damage for us, but, I mean, yeah, kind of a resident sleeper of a game, if I do say so myself. Mystery Bunny gonna get a root, but I mean, oh, the Delightful Jew going into League Wild.
This is not good for Delightful.
Ulti coming out, but
yeah, Delightful played that really, really badly. It was a great kick, But like all in all, if he had QW'd faster, I think he would have killed him.
Oh, but Expo gonna be taking a little low. Dupless gonna get bled. Oh, Morgana landing a nice bind. Quick Slice gonna go down, and Coach Kurt is gonna pick up first blood.
Yeah,
that
the bot cap is happening, dude.
Really huge. I see what you mean by the bot gap now. Dupless.
Yeah, because 2 plates, you've got a kill, unfortunately on Morgana, but it's still a kill. And then like you got a 3rd plate like on the way. Like right now, Caitlyn already has a 500 gold lead on Senna, and you can go ahead and make that like 600.
Yeah, and they are already knocking on
700
first
actually.
crit gold, actually, yeah. Lots of damage onto this turret. Definitely going to be a bit of an issue. Echo using his R to get back to lane. I believe that was what I just saw.
Yeah, they just want a pressure difference, but like this is where like I just like Dinosaur's comp in general, because like the bot side is just really weak from Mamba mentality, especially in this game the way they drafted. Like it's good in certain comps, and like if the enemy team also drafts like weak laners, but when they're having such a priority on Caitlyn, like you just cannot run these type of comps.
I'm surprised that League of Smile hasn't tried to similarly sneak a Rift Herald yet. Oh, TP coming out from Mamba mentality. 4 members are here. League of Smile gonna use his flash. Coach Kirk should be going down. He does not, though. Gonna be taken extremely low, but nothing is gonna be gained here. Call of the God gonna be attacking Mystery Bunny. Shield gonna be used. The Delightful Jew picks up another kill, and League of Smile gonna not go down because Quick Slice eats a bullet for him, but I mean, huge misplay by Mamba mentality. Not able to secure anything on their primary engage. Expo just gonna roam back up top to mid lane and not feel too good about being like essentially tied in CS with no kills this early on.
Yeah, no, at this point with Caitlyn having like an 800 gold lead, and then not only that, but I mean like that setup almost looked really good for like Mamba mentality. But like all in all, they couldn't really get anything out of it, and I think that is more scary than anything, because like again, you've got the Ornn, you've got the Caitlyn, Echo scales really well as well. So even though Lee Sin doesn't scale as well, all he is he's early game insurance, right? Like he's just like, you can't mess with me, I can get a fat kick late. Like, you know, all in all, he's a good early game insurance, is definitely able to like match the tempo that Mamba wants to play earlier. And I just don't know how I feel about Mamba's draft in general. I like the Kayn. I thought the Talon was interesting. I'm not quite seeing the Karma top. Not quite understanding that one yet. I guess in lane it's cool, but I mean, she has like a 3 CS lead, so...
Dupless was able to get a nice chunk of damage onto Expo without really being able to return anything, so... I mean, it seems like in the mid game at least, Expo seems to have a bit of an edge. But I mean, again, Rift Herald's still untouched this late in the game. Very questionable, in my opinion, that League of Smile has not gone for it, because I mean, Dinosaur Club has no vision on it at all, and Dragon's gonna come up. Dinosaur Club definitely has prio on it, regardless of whoever rotates first, and it's definitely gonna seem pretty bad. Expo again being chunked super hard.
Yeah, a lot of this comes down to the good itemization, and like even the runes of like Dupless. It's really strong, can constantly trade back really well. And the thing is, like, you know, as an AD assassin, it feels really bad when like the enemy AP carry just grabs that early armlet and is able to play safe. You know, Talon hasn't been able to really roam. He hasn't gotten his like fat roam off into the bot lane. You know, like that's like the biggest problem I had with them choosing like this bot lane. Like they should have had more wave clear or something, because like at this point it's so difficult for Mamba mentality to do what they want, and I don't think this comp suits their strengths at all.
Ooh, and Hacksaw almost going down here. Quick Slice gonna have to eat an ultimate to make sure that Rim Almighty does not get his first kill of the game. But I mean, speaking of AD assassins feeling bad, the second Drake was a Mountain Drake, and that added feel good defense is just gonna really further shut down Talon in every way, shape, and form.
Oh wait, hold on. I need to go check my prediction. 8 minutes in, Caitlyn did have she had a 20 CS lead, so I was right about the CS gap. I had to double check that.
Yeah, and I mean, if you just look at the CS gap now, 40 CS difference in the bot lane.
Yeah. Oh my
Rest
god,
of
the
the
gold
map,
difference.
super close, but I mean,
1400 gold difference on the Caitlyn and the Senna. 1400 gold.
And I mean, rest of the map doesn't really have too many CS differentials, particularly in favor of Dinosaur through objective control and particularly that first turret. I mean, Dinosaur Club are in position to take control of this game.
Yeah, I think, God, I think a big part of it too comes to the fact that the early game jungle pathing, I liked what Vile was doing with it. But like the thing is at some point, I think he needed to communicate like with his top laner, like, yeah, dude, I know that you're like destroying Nautilus, but I need you to use some like wave management because
destroying Horn.
Yeah, because like he wasn't really even destroying him, right? Like he was just kind of harassing him. It seemed like really bad for Horn and everything, but like all in all, like I think what needed to happen was Kane should have been able to like top lane because he still doesn't have a change, and I don't even know how close he is because it doesn't
Ooh,
say
and
defiant.
there goes Mystery Bunny, Rim Almighty picking up the first kill of the game. Gonna feel really nice. Really well coordinated tank.
As good as like the jungler and top, like honestly, this series just feels like a bot diff series. Like, and I think a lot of it comes down to the champions they were playing. But then again, game one, like I don't know. Like I think Dinosaur Club just comes in with a game plan and they know what they want to do and are executing on it very well. The bot gap this series though is actually like really massive.
Yeah, I mean it definitely is showing itself in this lane. This game. Sorry, misspoke there. 3K gold lead for Dinosaur Club so far. Feeling very confident, and now we're starting to break up the 3-1-3 section of the game. Expo gonna have to go up against Rim Almighty and Coach Kirk with Mystery Bunny as backup. Gonna feel okay, but I mean, both turrets are getting...
It's always safer to keep the AD carries in the mid lane, generally through the mid to late game. And then not only that, but like Expo, or Dupless in general, he's playing Echo, so he's got a very good split push. It's going to be a while before his split push is actually really good. But that's because, like, since he knew he didn't have to win mid lane, and it was like a free bot cap, like there's no reason not to play like somewhat safer, still have your like assassin items. Like they could definitely try to collapse on him here and at least burn his ult, but I don't think much more will get taken out of that.
Oh, and Dupless gonna go in on Mystery Bunny. Gonna chunk him to half health, but gonna dodge a Nautilus hook, which feels really good.
A lot of that was less like Dupless's execution and was really bad execution by Hacksaw. He canceled his immediate auto with E, so he didn't get the stationary thing, and that's why he threw out his Q the way he did. So by canceling his auto, he missed his Q too, and I think at the very least they could have gotten the ult out of Dupless.
But here comes Liga's Vile, gonna try and get something onto Dupless, but Dupless feeling okay. Gonna use his ult at just the right time. Here, Dupless slaying Liga's Vile. Mystery Bunny gonna get the root. Here comes the Call of the Forge God, actually gonna get the knockup. That's feeling pretty good, but will not be able to get anything else as Expo is in the area, and that should be mid lane tier 1 going over to Dinosaur Club because of that pressure. Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, dude, Orange just was like, I want to play League 2, damn it. Give me.
But that's also a lot of healing. That's also a lot of healing from Karma, so I mean...
Orange is just out here wanting to play League, man.
Please, I'm never near the action, guys! Wait for me! Bluff, gonna cancel Expo's TP. Expo actually in a fair bit of trouble. Rim Almighty getting the snipe onto Expo. And considering Expo hadn't really had a chance to do anything in this game, and already he's down a death. We'll be able to pick up his blade, his Dusk Blade of Drakthar.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know. It's... Dinosaur Club knows exactly what they want, and honestly, like, Mamba mentality doesn't even look like they know what they want to do with this comp. Like, they didn't really have a game plan. it seems like they chose champions that they just kind of wanted to play. I guess more than anything, and like I don't really know. Like I think the bot lane draft decision was really bad, but like I was hoping that Expo and Vile and Mystery Bunny were showing me something really spicy with their picks. I don't like it.
I mean,
Especially in Ornn and everything like that. Like, there's other things that I think Mamba could have went that's more towards their play style, and for some reason they just didn't.
well, I mean, recently this has been their place. It definitely has been like the support up in the top, just try and enable Expo and Quick Slice to do what they want. But I mean, I think what really sealed the deal was the fact that they red sided 1 and 2 the bot lane, which enabled. I mean, it was kind of a go figure that Rim Almighty was pick Caitlyn. So I mean, they red sided.
That's why I just think I think it's a really bad draft by Mamba, to be honest. Like, I think their bans and picks both weren't good. I think they can be good on these picks, and like sure, but I like personally, like I think they could have drafted something that's a lot more them, and I don't think this is the Karma fail flash over the wall following to the Morgana ult binding. Then you just got Caitlyn running down the center.
Delightful Jew gonna be able to shut down Mystery Bunny. Liga's Vile now in a tough spot here. Gonna use his ult defensively to get some healing, but the Delightful Jew will get a double kill, and Bluff gets a solo kill onto Expo with a nicely placed Call of the Forge God, eating into it so that Expo just doesn't have anywhere to go. And that was, I mean, okay, so you were saying how Dinosaur Club had some misplays last game. I think they took that to heart and were like, okay, I guess we won't misplay this game. Nobody on Dinosaur Club has died yet. It is a...
Dude, don't cast or curse them, man. Come on.
I mean, if I was going to
cast or curse before you say it.
Okay, hey, if I was going to cast or curse them, it was going to be my BM in Captain chat earlier today when I said, don't forget the Dino fact. And they didn't. They did not forget the Dino fact, which is important. Like I said, Dino fact did. But
I think they actually didn't do any Dino facts this game, so they're probably waiting till the end of the game, I'm guessing.
They did it in the beginning of the series. No, they usually do it at the beginning of the series. Liga's Vile gonna get stunned up here, gonna go down to the Delightful Jew on a rampage. Expo gonna see if he can find anything. He will not. Hacksaw, Quick Slice gonna get lots of kill shots thrown their way, but they will just be able to disengage, get the pick, get out. Really clean heist, boys.
Yeah, this game is just really frustrating from like a standpoint. Imagining being like Mamba, like I don't actually even know what their win con is, because like at this point, like I think the closest thing to a win condition they have is to death bush someone. Like you've got Dragon coming up like in a minute, right? And that's gonna be the ult soul, where you're gonna have more Echo ults, more Morgana ults, more Orns, more kicks. Like sure, it's not like the best soul, but like you just look at this gold lead that's almost like about 8k, and like
9k actually. Well, yeah, no, 8k. Sorry, can't math.
No, it's all good. Math is hard sometimes, but like, it's the thing is like that Dinosaur Club is like so like in the lead, right? That like their comp being as stable as it is and knowing exactly what they want to do, it just makes it really hard for Mamba, because like the best Mamba can do is just death bush. Like I don't know, because like you have to rely on Expo being able to pick someone, and maybe Expo Kane being able to pick someone.
And it looks like Expo is actually in trouble right now. Morgana ult coming out, not going to be able to get the stun, but Expo not going to be able to get a return kill either. Expo is going to go down to Dupless, and that should be Drake going over to Dino Club. I mean, Liga's Vile cleared out a ward, but not going to be able to do too much else there, bud.
And sometimes this just happens, like, I honestly, like, as good as the rest of the map is looking, right? Dupless is looking great right now. Delightful has looked nothing but good. It's all bot cap, though. Like, this series is all bot cap. Because, like, all it does is make like, when the bot lane is losing that hard, it enables, like, the jungle and the mid laner to kind of do what they want. And, like, it's actually crazy to me seeing Expo have, like, no impact. Because, like, he's the type of player that, like, the only time I have seen him have, like, really, like, to no impact. Again, I don't think I saw the Climber game, maybe. But, like...
So, You were saying that they didn't do a Dino Fact this game, but I mean, the Delightful Jew is here to enlighten us with a Dino Fact in the middle of a game as
He just
Liga's
wants to make sure
Vile
he
is
closes it
about
out.
to go down. Call of the Forge God gonna be used. Liga's Vile gonna go down. Dupless gets it. Okay. Are you gonna give me a chance to say the Dino Fact or not, boys?
No, they want to fight, dude. They want to end this game. They got such a gold lead. They just want to punch someone in the mouth, man.
Okay, well, I'll say the Dino Fact really quick, as it looks like Dinosaur Club are looking to go for Baron. Dino Fact: during the time of dinosaurs, crocodiles could grow to be the size of a school bus. Being an expatriate of Florida, I can confirm that they still can grow to be the size of school buses. You just gotta go into the swamp.
Bus, but yeah.
Did you see that video of the
small rafts? Yeah, no, I saw the other one that was still pretty big, but it was more like I don't know. It was
that was like a
big,
Honda. That was
yeah,
a Honda Civic, man. If they can grow to be a Honda Civic, I think they can grow to be a school bus. Still, they're just deep ocean crocodiles.
All I know is that I just want somebody to believe in me as much as you believe in crocodiles' evolutionary traits.
Dude, I love crocodiles. They just have been untouched by
the Florida man out here, right?
No,
Florida man, I love crocodiles.
They've literally been untouched by evolution millions of years. It's just like, oh yeah, we created an apex predator. That's good. No updates required.
Karma about to have a bad time in the top lane. No way she really gets out of this because it's binding by binding, except the Coach Kirk binding goes wide. But the Caitlyn damage is just too much.
Yep, Call of the Forge God gonna come out, gonna knock up Quick Slice. Binding is gonna connect. What a beaut of a route that was. Dupless gonna pick up the kill. Yeah, Liga's Vile also in trouble, but Expo here as Dupless gonna use Zonya's stunned up.
Dupless, that was so good. The Zonya's into the W, and then he still has R, I think. Yep, and he still has R. Clean ace, 16-0. I generally. Oh man. Dude,
let's get a inhib before we go this hard into the base, alright guys? But I mean, that now they will be able to get an inhib for free.
No, I feel it. I love them styling it, and they're trying to close out this game with pizzazz. I like to see it, you know. Cause at some point,
Root is gonna connect on Mystery Bunny. Nothing else is gonna happen though, thank goodness, because already so much has happened. Still deathless is Dinosaur Club, which is honestly mind-boggling. Ugh. They're like a megalodon right now, just eating great white sharks left and right. Gonna reset for who knows what. I mean, they could just force a Baron fight, get an ace, and then end the game that way. I mean, they do have the avenue open for them. Nautilus doing some heavy breathing.
I think after this series, like to me, Dinosaur Club is like the #1 team. Like even if Ape Chimps is like undefeated and Dinosaur Club has had some like faltering moments, I think consistently each part of their like laners and just their game plan and their like drafts like just look really good. And I think like as the season goes on, they're gonna look stronger. I think Ape Chimps though are definitely like really still close to like naturally you just want to say Ape Chimps is first just because like they haven't lost. They can play this crazy and wild style. Ooh, Expo looking in for Caitlyn kill. But just gonna be the stop back.
Yeah, and actually there was a bit of a mental diff there because Hacksaw got caught out in the Baron pit and just immediately had to flash once he saw club's members there. So definitely scary to be in this position. Dupless actually looking for something. Not gonna find anything with his force field, but just gonna get some minions. So what you're saying is, in Defiance, in your power rankings, Comfy Gaming would not be top of that, but instead it would be Dinosaur.
I mean, we haven't even been as that consistent yet. I think we can get close to like the level of the top teams easily, and like not easily. It's going to take a lot of work, But I think overall, if like we play our own game and then use like some of the strategies that we've built up, I think that we're like a really good team that are really just gonna keep surprising people. And I
Yeah.
think like the whole goal is to go into this as like an underdog. Like at the moment, to me, Ape Chimps and like Dino Club are just better teams. And like, but the thing is though, is that I believe that we can be a team even better than them. And I hope that shows later on. But again, like right now, Dinosaur Club looks really hard to match. And then Ape Chimps, like I feel like even if you try to match them, like they've just got this weird way of playing that is just like so aggressive, like in your face and like BM that they naturally get like a mental edge on you guys, and then are able to usually use that to get advantages.
League is Lao gonna get picked off here. The Delightful Jew is dominating, but would you say Ape Chimps perhaps play with a wild style? A
Oh
bit
yeah,
of a
dude,
pun, if you will?
they literally drag you into the jungle and then like beat you with experience, man. Like, because they love playing in that. We got the surrender coming out after that
Wow,
one.
surrender.
21
That
to
is
0, 4 drakes to nothing, 8 turrets to 1. Dinosaur Club to me looking like the strongest team, but 8 chimps aren't even behind. I would like honestly, I almost want to say 1A and 1B. I would just say I haven't seen 8 chimps look consistently good all over the map. I think Ine Uzi is really just that good. I think Ethan is a really smart player and like can definitely help corral the others. But like all in all, like there's so many times where I watch Dinosaur Club where like somewhere else on the map they like do really well, and like every time I watch Ape Chimps, it's always just like, damn Uzi, like every time.
yeah, I mean the first in-game FF of the season, from what I
Uh,
can see.
second FF,
Well, no, no, no,
Dirt
no, no, no.
Game,
Which, like,
Dirt Team
in-game
FF'd
FF?
against us. Yeah, game 3 they
Oh,
forfeited.
yes, I remember that. I remember that. Okay, that I mean
But
that
we weren't
just
this clean. We weren't Dino clean.
yeah, Dinosaur Club absolutely demolishing Mamba mentality here with feeling really good about their play. No member of Dinosaur Club died. What an absolute pop off by this team. I am excited to see them go up against. I want to see Dinosaur Club versus Ape. So bad. So bad.
When do we get that? When is that?
It's definitely later
Is
along
it
the
week
line.
8? No.
Let me
When
look.
did we already go past it? Was it like early on that happened? No,
No.
week 7. And see,
No, yeah.
it's actually even better than that. Like you're looking forward to that, right? But like
Yes.
this week we watched Mamba Mentality versus Dinosaur Club, and then next week we watch Ape Chimps versus Mamba Mentality. So we get to see them both go against teams that like in like back-to-back weeks. So that it's like generally, but like Ape Chimps and like Dinosaur Club should have like similar levels of play between those 2 weeks, and then it culminates in a week 7 super matchup of Dinosaur Club Ape Chimps, 9 o'clock on Sunday, the 30th of August. And I'm telling you, I think like that game is either gonna be really good or like the hardest stomp ever. I do
We
think it's gonna go like 2-1 either side though. I think all 3 games will be stomps.
you
Maybe a
heard it
really ugly
here
game one.
first. You heard it here first, ladies and gents. Week 7 of BTL. Not to say that the other weeks aren't going to be banners. Definitely tune in for week 6 because we do have some pretty hype matchups going in there,
But the
especially with
top
Ape
two
Chimps
teams.
versus Mamba. But I mean, week 7 is definitely going to be one to watch out for. Thank you so much for joining us for week 5, day 1 of season 9 of BTL. Mamba Mentality versus Dinosaur Club, with Dinosaur Club absolutely stomping it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a fantastic night. Get some sweet dreams. Just
Oh,
and
do we want a post game interview real quick? It looks like
would
one of
you,
them wanted it over there. I'll interview anybody.
who would like a post game interview?
I know Delightful's looking for it, but I would like to interview Rim, to be honest, or
Delightful,
Coach
if you
Kirk. But I
delightful
mean, if Delightful wants it, I'll bring Delightful in. You know.
if you and if Delightful and Rim can come in here, that would be pretty
Yeah, I
spiffy
wouldn't
though.
mind both. I definitely want Rim because like Rim deserves it.
Interview Rim, interview Rim, interview Rim, Rim and Delightful, interview Rim, and I'll host Fluffy. Okay. Uh, let me find. Are you gonna ping them, or am I gonna ping them?
They're in Dinosaur Club right now. I think I might need Ito to like move them into here, or maybe Para. I'm not sure how that works.
Somebody can pull them, I'm sure. I don't know how to pull you guys. Okay,
Cool,
thank
cool,
you,
cool.
Para. Thanks,
I think interviews
Mom.
are fun. I think it's like fun hearing BM. The personality of the player is, you know, it's like it's
Somebody just spammed rim job.
yeah. They're waiting for that this whole time. I swear. They
Those
started seeing
kids.
everyone else spam Rim, and they were just like, "We're ready for it." I do see that Delightful and Rim have popped over to Dinosaur Club, waiting, ready.
They're coming. They're coming.
Oh, I
Just
know.
give them a second.
Is that my boy Rim?
Hello.
Yo,
How's it
what's
going?
going on?
Okay. First question to Rim. How could you even see the other side of the lane with a bot gap that large?
Oh, I mean, I don't think I did. I don't think I did see anything else on the other side of the lane. I think we were just playing farming simulator for probably 20 minutes. So especially that last game.
Farming simulators, oversized cannon minions that happen to look like, you know, deep depth dwellers and stuff like that. How did you feel about Senna Nautilus into Morgana Caitlyn? Like, what do you think of that matchup?
I think if they wanted to keep doing it into Arcade Morgue, they should. But in my personal opinion, it's not a matchup I think I would enjoy if I were on their side.
Yeah, I definitely thought that. Like, I thought the Senna was kind of okay. Like, I felt like they were like, okay, we're gonna lose bot anyway, and then they put in Nautilus, and I was just like, this is unplayable. Like, this is actually
Right.
unplayable.
I think, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of matchups I would say that you can like go into with confidence in Kate Morgue, but if you pick a Nautilus into a Morgana, you know, I don't really know what your mindset is at. So
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and throw something at Delightful then. How do you feel about your jungle pathing this game? Like the jungle matchup, how was it? Like game one was probably more interesting, but like I feel like in game two, you guys were doing interesting pathing, and I still really liked your pathing as well.
Thanks. Yeah. So game one was essentially just like we wanted to scale. Like we kind of had two losing lanes topside, and then we had Kate Morg bot, or it wasn't even Kate Morg. It was Kate something else, Bard, I think.
Yeah, Bart.
And so anytime we pick Kate, like I'm just gonna expect that to be like a pushing winning lane, and I just kind of want to be bot side. And so my goal for that game, like we scaled way harder. We had Cassian into LeBlanc and Orin top lane, so I kind of just wanted to like get as much farm as I can. I think I counter jungled him bot side a bit early, in the early game. And I just kind of sat bot and farmed up as much as I could and made the plays I could.
Oh yeah, you were in Graves game one, right? Yeah, your
Yeah,
pathing
exactly.
was really, really good game one. Like your
Yeah.
pathing was really good. Like when you were
Yeah.
able to get like the rotation onto his Krugs, and then even did you grab his casters?
Yeah,
Or the
no, I
Raptors?
grabbed the Krugs and Raptors. On
Yeah,
that.
it was like I saw that, and to me, it was absolutely insane. Like the lead you got, because like
Yeah.
to me, the onus was basically on them to like dictate the early game in both, because I felt like you guys drafted really well and knew how to play your comp. Like, and
Yeah.
like it really helped you, I think, because like as a
Yeah, I think we kind of just had a good game plan in that game. Like we drafted for scaling with one solid winning lane to play around, and we just kind of did that and got leads in jungle and bot lane out of that. And I was like 3-0-2 pretty early in the game, and then I kind of did nothing after that, but I didn't need to, so it was cool.
Like I think to me, honestly, to me, both of these games were about as hard as a stomp as game two. I just think like I think you guys were like a little bit like maybe too far ahead first game of the day type thing, and like you guys were a little lax game one with like your advantage. Like
for sure,
I definitely remember you guys getting caught out a little bit more.
Yeah. Like I the block just straight up killed me like by herself all three of my deaths that game, and it was just like they had a really solid pick comp, but it really did nothing outside of that, and I was a little stupid with where I was on the map occasionally. But overall, I thought like they didn't really get anything off their picks that they were able to make, so it didn't end up mattering all that much.
So then, go ahead.
I have a question specifically for the Delightful. I guess also if he wants to comment on this. So Dupless is a player that I'm watching specifically because he just constantly plays AP assassins that like I don't think I've seen a game where he has played an AP assassin yet from him, and specifically with the Kassadin, this was his second game of the season on. How AP assassins aren't exactly quote unquote meta, I would say. I mean, they're definitely strong in their own right, but how do you guys like try and play around, or do you even try and play around this when he's just like so self-sufficient in his role?
Yeah, I mean, like he's a really damn good player, and he has, I mean, not the biggest champion pool, but he has a few champs that he's really strong on, and so he just kind of spams those, and I trust him to be able to dominate and lane with those champs. And if it's Caston, I can't really do much to help him until at least he hits 6, but. Most other lanes, I like going mid and making plays around him because then it kind of opens up the map and allows us to roam together to other lanes a lot of the time as well. So it really opens up the map having a strong mid laner like Dupless. And I think our bot lane has been playing really, really well the last few weeks as well. So like I think last week we didn't look as strong, mostly just because I did not play as well as I expect myself to. But I think this week I played up to my standards, and everyone else played like the same. So we just kind of stomped hard, and I think you'll see a lot more of that going forward.
So I got another question, I guess, for both of you guys again. Like one thing that I loved about watching your team this week in comparison to like other weeks is like before I felt like you guys all did well. Like you guys all did all right. And this is why I was kind of like making some cracks on like I think Rim the other day, like the last time I casted with Rim playing. And it wasn't even anything against Rim. It was more like Rim is a happy everyone else. Like everyone else is just sitting there doing shit, and Rim is really just chilling. Like to me, it just felt like Rim is he's just chilling. He's good. He's playing well. He's just chilling. But then for like these games, like as much as like Dupless popped off like on Kassadin, I really feel like these games are won in jungle and bot. Like I honestly feel like Dupless, like yeah, he hard carried, I guess, like mid to late, but that was your comp anyway. Like once Kassadin got to 11 or 16, he could have been like he could have still been 1-2-1 and he still would have been like really strong and like turning fights. But I think like all in all, the game state and how you guys got to that game state was from like the bot jungle. So like that's like one thing you guys should really praise yourselves for, in my opinion, because like your bot jungle was so good in the series. Like it was so good, and you guys clearly knew what you wanted, and your dragon control and everything around that was really really good. And so like it's nice to see you guys like not really be just like a what almost like just a Dupless and friends team, and you guys actually came out like a full on team, and it was really good to see.
Yeah, Rib, do you want to say?
Yeah. I think at the beginning of this league so far, we definitely had that kind of your description of bot lane, in that we're almost like our team's life insurance. And if Dupless hasn't won the game by 25 minutes, that's when like me and Coach Kirk can start playing league. So but I think our game style has evolved as we've gone forward, and it definitely depends on like our opponents. So I think the performance you guys saw today is something that we're capable of, and like we could probably kind of carry the games even if Dupless isn't carrying it for us. But he's definitely generally the more reliable.
Yeah, and I think something you guys probably don't know is that like when we formed this team to join the league, me and Rim were both playing other roles. I was an AD carry main, and Rim was kind of like jack of all trades kind of guy. And so I switched over to jungle. I had been a Lee one trick for 1 year, a couple years ago already, but it was pretty much just Lee. And then he had played a little AD carry and just kind of started maining that. So I think like we've definitely improved a lot over the last few months, and even since like week 1 of the league, and hopefully you'll continue to see more of that as we go along.
Like I definitely can tell. Like you guys are growing like really fast, and that's why it's like to me, I just can't help but feel like you guys are like considered the number one team. Just because like, don't get me wrong, like I think Ape Chimps is really strong. They're obviously like undefeated and everything, but like I just don't see the consistency in them. Like I've seen them like go like really close in games to teams that they absolutely shouldn't. And then I also feel like I often see their jungler and top being able to play whatever champion they want because of like the paralyzing fear that in a Uzi
Yeah, I mean,
So-
actually, I do have kind of a question for that because I haven't watched much of their games, but I do know NA Uzi is a monster. Do they tend to play pretty like one-dimensional around bot lane? Is that kind of what you're getting at? That they have this kind of
No, I would.
I wouldn't call it one dimensional though. Like
Yeah, I wouldn't say that because Ethan and specifically their jungler, Alex Williams, also have a lot of potential to pop off, and we've seen them pop off before. Ethan has a really nice Talia, and also Anivia that I believe he's popped off on. So I mean, they're definitely not a one-dimensional team, but I mean, Uzi definitely is able to sort of take initiative on his own and like really excel.
I mean, in some way, I guess like I could see how they're like could be considered one dimensional, and I think like the best way of describing Ape Champs is like they were. Do you remember if anybody watched like LEC or a little bit of EU LCS? Like when Vitality and Yamato Cannon and Jizuke first came on the scene, like that's what Ape Champs kind of reminds me of, but without like as strong of like I guess like solo laners in a way. Like like to me, they just skirmish and they skirmish all the time, and because they've got a really good cleanup, like really good AD carry, like generally they just clean up around dragon fights and clean up around bot side. But like I feel like in most cases, like what Ape Chimps is like really good at doing usually is like you know how like people go, oh, you know how like pigs are, they'll like bring you into the mud and beat you with experience. Like to me that's how Ape Chimps play. Like they bring you like not necessarily down to their level, but they like try to force you to play their game by just being up in your face and skirmishing all the time. And like I'm not quite sure how consistent that is because like I think it's asking a little bit too much of an Auzi. I think he's good enough, and I think Ethan can have good games, but like I think their top side of the map kind of leaves me questionable if they don't get the champions they want. I don't know how large their champion pool is.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because I feel like every comp has like its own win condition. You know, whether or not you want to skirmish and take fights earlier, or you know whether you want to play around early drakes or you know whatever. And I think that we've gotten a lot better at like figuring out what comp we're gonna run, what its win conditions are, and then playing around it. So it'll be interesting to see when we get into that matchup with H down the line.
Yeah, I'm really excited because like the way it goes is you guys win against Mamba this week. I think then your team solo chill next week. I think it is. Or no, you're not. That's
I think we already played them.
But
Yeah.
I forget who you guys play next week. But I know that Mamba Mentality goes against Ape Chimps right the week right before your game because like your game is in 2 weeks. So then we get to watch Ape Chimps and Mamba Mentality and basically be. I think you guys are going to be probably like of course you know you're going to constantly improve with scrims and whatnot. But I think seeing you guys go against Mamba Mentality this week and then Ape Chimps go against Mamba Mentality next week, I think it'll be a lot more of a litmus test on like how good both teams are, and then coming into like obviously the Ape Chimps Dinosaur Club game, I think it's going to be like almost of the season, except like of course you know week 8 and 9 where like the standings and like you know all that stuff starts really getting super important. So then there's just more on the line. So I'm really excited to see more out of you guys. To be honest, I feel like you guys, not in a BM way. I think you guys are like smarter than like the average team. Like you guys, I feel like actually like really develop a lot.
Hey, remember you're on a team yourself.
I know what I'm saying. It's like because it's just like I feel like a lot of team. I'm on Comfy Gaming.
Okay.
It's just I feel like other teams like they know what their strength is and then hardcore try on their strengths in like every scrim, but they don't really experiment. They don't really try anything new, and then when their plan goes to crap, it just goes to crap. And I feel like you guys are okay with like a multitude of like different plans, and you guys tried a bunch of different things.
Yeah,
Like-
we put a lot of thought actually into like draft and what we think about like the comps we're running and how they're supposed to be played. And I agree with you actually that that's definitely a strong point of our team that I don't necessarily see in a lot of other teams in the league.
So where do you feel about how the Mamba like what do you think Mamba Mentality's worst problem is when it comes to like draft or in general?
That's a good question. I feel like
I don't think
They
they
kinda
drafted
just
that bad. Other than the bot lane match, that was kind of ridiculous.
yeah, no, they really had no answers for ball lane, and I think it was pretty dumb to leave Kate Morg up for game 2. Like that was pretty dumb, especially with their answer to it being Sen and Nautilus. That it just makes no sense. And we clearly wanted it after game 1. Like we picked Kate even when Morg was gone, but so that was pretty questionable. And then honestly, like,
Didn't they also ban Maokai from themselves? Like, do you guys play that much
oh
Maokai
yeah,
or something?
nah, we 100% would have first picked it if they left it up. That was smart for
Okay,
them for
okay.
sure. Yeah, our top laner plays pretty much like every tank top.
I just felt like he was just gonna keep playing Ornn because like he gives like Caitlyn the free Molten Edge and it's just free. Like,
yeah, it's nice, but we do view Maokai as a
Value.
slightly better champ in general right
And
now,
it's really
and
surprised me
also
'cause
taking it away from them.
yeah, I was about to say their top laner is also like a huge Maokai like one trick. So I just was
Exactly.
very surprised, like very surprised to see that banned out. I think for me, Mamba Mentality does really well in game one. I think their drafts in game one are often like better. It's just like game two, I feel like I don't know if they overreact or like they just do some weird shit to me. Like I don't really understand it. Like I didn't
just
really
don't-
understand the
think
talent
they
mid.
played their comp how they should have, because we kind of interpreted their comp as, you know, Talon's going to roam bot a bunch since we're K-Morg, we're going to be probably pushed up the entire game. And I don't think he came bot once at all. And Kane, I think Kane tried to gank us like once or twice, and nothing ever amounted to that. So I feel like they just kind of let.
I feel like they kind of just rely too much on their mid laner overall. Because like they drafted Karma top game 2. What did they draft top game 1? I don't remember. Silas. Yeah, I guess that's like something to play around, but they didn't play around it, and it was really just their mid that was doing anything game 1.
Yep.
And I feel like without this is gonna be a little BM, but like without a better jungler, I don't really know how they're gonna be able to improve as a team, because like it just seems like they have no game plan really. Like I don't really know what he was trying to do in any of the games.
I do agree. It doesn't seem like they had an agenda in either game.
See, for me, it wasn't even just the jungler. It's like as a team, I felt like they didn't have an agenda. Like, and then not only that, but like the comps, like it's like they see. For me, like the things they draft seem okay because like in lane, right? They go fine. They go well. Like they chose good stuff for the lane. But I think like every time they choose like champions that are just really hard to execute. To be honest, like if you like slow the game down around them, like it's just like their whole point is like they just want to play this high tempo early game where they're just making plays everywhere. But if those plays don't happen, it's like they didn't have a plan. Like their whole plan was just to be high tempo. Like all their picks are decent in lane. They're just gonna like run you down. Don't make a mistake on them. But like I mean, if you just kind of chill out and bot gap, then like I don't really know what their game plan was. Like because like I've seen Expo choose things like Renekton and like even like the Talon, and they're not really like even playing around it either.
Yeah, that was the thing. Is like they didn't really play around mid that well. They just kind of gave it assassins.
Punished bot, I think, more, but they did not do that. So
well, to be fair, a lot of that is because of your jungler.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even really know if they could have done that, because like our 3v3 I think is much stronger with.
Well, I don't mean just their jungler. I mean Talon.
Yeah, it was weird to see them pick Talon game 2, and like I never really saw him roam like the entire game.
He was literally fighting Dupless the whole game, like literally 1v1.
Yeah, that seems like really questionable to me. Actually, I feel like he might have tilted a little bit after game 1 or something, because that's just like if you're gonna pick Talon like that, it's to roam bot and try to take some pressure off the K-Morg.
I think Dupless was really good at that though.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't watching mid, but Dupless is pretty beast, so doesn't surprise me.
He just kept ulting back to mid lane, TPing early, and then just constantly shoving the wave. And I think that really like mentally like ruined Expo's game plan, because like Echo can just push so hard, and then he just rushed Armlet, and he just literally just kept like hard pushing the wave, and he would just use his ult to go back mid every time he backed. So he was just always in lane, and I think that really pissed Talon off, to be honest. Like I think if Dupless was on another mid laner, like maybe Expo would have actually played how he wanted to play. But I feel like Dupless actually controlled like the lane state like a lot, and like yeah, that helped you guys, and I still think you guys won through jungle bot. It was interesting to see Dupless play like a carrying style without being like hard carrying, because you can only really play like the Omega carry style, right? Like I only know how to go 8 kills up and then demolish you, not like keep the lanes going.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, especially recently with the way we've been playing, like everyone just kind of knows their role in any given game, which I think has been pretty cool to see. It's like if we're playing a game around bot and Dan can just do like what you said, and just kind of keep Talon in lane, like that is a really big deal, and it allows us to do a lot. and let bot just kind of do their thing. But and then BW Hoff top lane has just been playing really solid tank games recently. I think he even had a solo kill on Expo this last game, which was pretty cool.
He solo killed him top lane. That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else to say? Like, as we're gonna go ahead and like kind of end it up a little bit, give Para time.
Fan Kate, please, and that's pretty
Fan
much
Kate, please. Are you just bored of playing Kate?
I mean, yeah, but it's really good. It's not boring. I just I like to play it.
Okay. Delightful.
Yeah, no, nothing else. Just glad to play some better games this week, and excited to play more down the line.
All right. I hope you guys stay comfy. Stay comfy. We'll see you later.
All right, yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
for
guys
having us,
so much
guys.
for
Thank
hopping
you.
in.
No problem. Scrim me? No.
All right. Well, ladies and gents, that will be the wrap up for this fine day of League of Legends that we have been able to provide for you. Thank you so much for coming. We hope you all have a great night, and Ito will be handing off our broadcast to one of our myriad of friends in Twitch. So feel free to give them a raid, and we hope you all
Stay comfy.